right, it's Christine Richards here with Zpryme, and we're really excited to have Tim Healy with EnerNOC with us today. Thanks for joining us, Tim.
Thank you, Christine. Thanks for having me.
All right, so why don't you tell us a little bit about EnerNOC and what are some of the latest things you've been working on?
Sure. So EnerNOC is an energy intelligence software provider. What that means is that we are providing an energy decision framework for our customers, our enterprise customers who buy our software. We help them with all the energy decision-making activities inside the enterprise, from how to buy energy more cost-effectively, how to reduce their energy usage, at peak times, how to manage their demand charges. Our software helps them with some of their compliance activities. A lot more customers are facing new compliance regimes in the marketplace, whether it's GRESB reporting or SASB, which is a Sustainability Accounting Standards Board that's could be upon us in the next year or so. A lot of different decisions that customers have to make around the energy bill and around their energy consumption activities. And so, they want to know about energy the way they want to know about their employee costs, the way they want to know about their cost of goods sold that go into their product. They want to understand, where am I spending money on energy and what does this mean for me? And it's particularly interesting in today's environment where not only do the customers want to know this, but our utility customers buy our software so that they can help their customers engage with their energy decision making as well. So it's a really interesting time for us.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of changes that we're seeing. There's so many different pieces starting to go into the grid and a lot more complexity. Now, you just participated in our Grid of the Future panel.
Correct.
What was some of the most intriguing discussion there? Or what were some things that maybe should have been covered that didn't get covered?
Well, I thought it was a wide-ranging discussion. What was evident to me is that there's a lot of talk around the complexity that customers are facing, the complexity that utilities are facing. A lot of that complexity is driven by increased choice. Customers have a lot more decisions to make around energy than they've ever had to make before.
Yeah.
It's not just, okay, I'm in a deregulated part of the market, so now I can choose a competitive supplier. That's just one part of the decision making. Now it's, should I spend some of our capital budget this year and put PV on, some of our buildings? What about batteries? Are batteries something that I should put with any sort of PV? Demand response, is that going to be helpful to me? Is there, what's the value of demand response in my market? How do I do that? And boy, if I'm making these types of capital decisions, do I really know how much I'm going to be spending on energy in the future? Do I know what I spent on energy last month? Don't I need to know that if I'm going to try to track towards some sort of a budget? What if I start to hold various business units accountable to trying to benchmark us against our peers and competitors? How do I do that? What types of things am I going to need to do, and what decisions? And at the end of the day, I think that leads to some of the things that EnerNOC and other companies like us in the energy intelligence software space offer, which is the tools to help with that energy decision making. And for us, we've thought of our software as an energy decision system for the enterprise that helps them with all aspects of that increased complexity and customer choice.
Yeah, I think we've seen you've mentioned so many different areas in terms of the storage and, distributed generation, customers, who's really owning some of these different relationships, things like that. How do you see it evolving in the next 3 to 5 years? What changes are we going to see on the horizon?
Well, we talked about it upstairs. I suggested that we are no longer in a period of incremental change, that there is revolutionary change occurring. I'm sure that's debatable, but I would say that we are seeing a changing business model for the utility. The utility has traditionally been perceived as, I'm the incumbent provider. The customer doesn't have much choice. I'll make sure that I provide you a cost-effective and reliable resource. And now customers want more than a cost-effective, reliable resource. They want information. They want information. They want to know when their bill is trending higher. They want to know when certain programs are available that might suit their needs. They want to know what programs are my utilities providing in my region that could help me with my energy bill. Why is my bill higher than peer companies? Can my utility give me some of this information? And I think we're on the cusp of dramatic change in the utility business model. I mentioned something on the panel about the fact that more and more utility executives surveyed today suggest that they are not going to have the same business model that they've had for the last 100 years, literally in their tenure at their firm. That's a fundamental change, and we've seen other industries that have changed fundamentally. I would say that there's a number of industries that are in the sharing economy, or industries that are part of the sharing economy. The way that we engage with our transportation system now. I mean, there's Uber, there's car sharing, and that's all about the sharing economy. And I think one of the other things we're seeing is that same type of sharing economy is affecting the utility industry. Now, if I go out and buy some sort of distributed energy, sometimes I'll be the user of that distributed energy, but sometimes when I have excess and I have more than I need, I'm going to sell some of that excess energy back out and let others buy it from me. That's this idea of being a prosumer, and we see that customers in the energy equation are prosumers, much like folks that drive for Uber are prosumers as well. Sometimes they're driving their own car for themselves to take them where they want to go, and other times they're saying, okay, I'm going to spend a few hours leveraging this asset that I have, and I'm now going to be a producer of that transportation service for others. That same dynamic is happening in this industry, and I think we're going to see that more and more of that moving forward.
Now, one other question I have is just, a lot of complexity, a lot of things going on. People and organizations are having to make a lot of decisions. We've heard a lot of discussion around, machine learning, artificial intelligence to help take care of some of this for consumers. Where do you see that playing into all of this?
I think, we've invested heavily at EnerNOC in a data science initiative several years ago in order to do exactly that. We realized that right now customers are still new to this. It's not something that comes easy to them, and the more that we can make it easy for them through automated logic, through automation of decision making, through making sure that if there are savings opportunities, that we can automate as much of those savings opportunities. And a lot of that means that we need the data science to predict when those savings opportunities are going to occur. And so what we've been able to build are algorithms that help tell when a customer is going to set a new peak load on their electricity bill tomorrow, and that they can take steps today or tomorrow morning in order to ride through and reduce their amount of usage the next day. Do things that detect when a customer's bill is trending too high. That's through logic and data analytics. And then there's a whole wealth of things that others in the ecosystem are working on to help customers automate more and more the business process and more of that understanding on exactly where am I spending energy and what's that going to mean for me tomorrow, and how do I help my organization navigate this. And so I think, not surprisingly, when you transform an industry, when you put the amount of new infrastructure in place, 40 million smart meters across the U.S. have been installed within the last decade or so, there's a much, much deeper amount of data associated with energy consumption than ever before. With that, you're going to unlock all sorts of new data analytics capabilities, and there are things that we haven't even thought about, but there are some great entrepreneurs working on right now that are going to be exciting for us in the next 5 to 10 years.
Yeah, it's definitely an exciting time to be in the energy industry.
Indeed.
So thank you so much for joining us today, Tim.
Thank you for having me.